Are you a single out there in the dating world struggling to land a date or even to get laid? Well, I think that you could really make good use of Tinder's new feature, an AI Wingman. This is an artificial intelligence tool that is going to help you find matches, come up with pickup lines, plan dates, plan outfits, and also even date other users' own AI wingmen for you. You'll go on double dates. It's perfect. They can, as you said earlier, jump on the grenade for you.
Yes.
If you will.
I mean, if I'm not careful calling my fiance out earlier, I might end up having to do that again because she said it's femo-genocide, not femigenocide.
Correcting the record.
I refuse to use. Luckily, I am engaged, so I don't have to use a chat bot or a Tinder wingman.
Yeah, thank your lucky stars that you don't have to be one of these people. So, you know, the AI wingman can go with, you know, your match's ugly friend, your match's Duff, the designated ugly fat friend for you. And it just makes the whole process seamless and effortless. This is actually true, though. I'm not kidding. Like, it's not a satire article. This is something that Tinder is actually introducing to their users. According to an earnings letter, Match Group, the parent company of both Tinder and Hinge, didn't know that they were owned by the same company, by the way.
Makes perfect sense.
They announced that AI is rolling out on all of these apps and services because they're trying to keep up with the times. Match Group brands are responsible for sparking half of all relationships that begin online, but with each new generation of users, expectations of our apps change. With this in mind, Match Group is seeking to harness innovation and especially further leverage advances in technologies like artificial intelligence. We believe our scale and understanding of our audience will allow us to transform the dating experience to satisfy existing users and attract those who have not yet tried dating apps. By using AI to leverage the data we have, we can improve many aspects of the dating app experience by building a deeper understanding of users' needs and desires throughout the journey, pre-match, matching, and post-match. This is where they always want you to end up, by the way, post-match, after the date didn't work out or you never got a date in the first place, so that you keep paying them. They are improving the pre-match experience. They're working on several ways for AI to assist in making the important first step as frictionless as possible by helping daters curate their photos and bios and showcase who they are. Tinder is testing an AI-powered photo selector, which will help new users choose higher quality profile photos within seconds. We will implement generative AI to inspire more effective and authentic bios and prompts. That is the opposite of authentic because you didn't come up with it. Just saying.
They're like, I'm about to generate like 3 more inches of height and 4 more zeros to my bank account.
Yeah, and then they go into more detail here about the AI wingman. It's similar to what Bumble did, exploring the idea of a digital concierge where AI bots date each other. Grindr also announced that they're testing an AI bot for gay and bi men that helps find new matches, set up dates, and also date other AI wingmen for you. Tinder and Hinge are working on several ways for AI to curate photos and bios. We will implement generative AI to inspire more effective bios and prompts to substantially improve profile quality and drive improved user outcomes. So this is where we're at. People have gotten to a point of desperation where they're ready to hand this entire process over to an artificial intelligence instead of controlling it themselves.
Have you or anybody you known ever used dating apps?
I use Catholic Match, which is not
that was a thing.
Not even close to the user base of something like Tinder or Hinge.
Yeah.
But I never met anyone off of it.
But like friends or anybody you know like use them regularly?
I don't know. I'm thinking back and like I've only really talked to like other religious people about the dating world, and usually they avoid those things.
Yeah.
But people usually say Hinge is more reliable than Tinder if you're looking for a real relationship instead of a hookup.
Hinges?
Even though they're owned by the same parent company.
Like I got very lucky. I never in my life had to ever use a dating app.
Yeah, that's kind of incredible.
Never use like to me the idea is like it's so hard to put a good foot forward digitally in that space because it's trying.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like aloof works so much better. Do what I did, guys. Send her Stalin memes.
Well, dating apps ruined everything,
Yeah.
right? Because there's no plausible deniability anymore.
What do you mean?
You know?
Explain that.
That especially hurts women. Because women, if there's anything we love, it's having plausible deniability.
So there's no mystery.
There's no mystery.
Intent is specific and
yeah. There's no subtext. There's no body language. There is no even maneuvering of like mutual friends or people setting other people up. It's just all right there. You're just throwing yourself out there on a dating app and putting all of this information in a curated list.
What's
and people
weird?
will filter you, and it takes away all of the whimsy.
For women, it's weird because if they're not looking for a relationship, or at least lying to themselves and saying they are, but not really, it's great for women who are looking to be casually and recurringly validated through male sexual interest. But if the idea here is like, it's men's job usually, the man is the one who has to reach out and be the one who's forward and puts himself out there, and women are left at the discretion of deciding whether they want to do that. Sometimes they do and sometimes they don't. But on a dating app, you're always technically out there.
Sure, yeah.
Right? Like, it's a guy's job, if you meet in person, to be the one to go up, start a conversation, and try to see if there's a way to make a connection with someone. With women, that's not really what's expected ever. And even when it's expected of the man, they're not expected to always reciprocate. But since it's online, their intentions are clear. So it does kind of destroy any of the mystery around it.
Right. There's no like song and dance to it. There's no chase. There's no mystery. There's no polarity.
Yeah.
Like that's something we're also missing, is just like the basic differences between men and women get flattened when it's literally on a two-dimensional screen.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. I feel bad. I feel bad for people who are still looking.
Now, this is catching the attention of experts in the field of ethics. Not that I usually listen to experts on anything, but Dr. Luke Brunning, a lecturer in applied ethics at the University of Leeds, has coordinated an open letter calling for regulatory protections and guardrails against AI in use on dating apps. He believes that trying to solve the social problems caused by technology with yet more unregulated technology will make things worse, and that automated profile enhancing also entrenches a dating app culture where people feel they must constantly outperform others to win.
None of this matters if you can't actually live up to it in the real world. None of it.
Mm-hmm.
All of the upscaling and generative AI it can't generate a personality or generate actual connection with another person. All of this, it's literally just white noise.
And paying for the premium subscription so you show up in people's feeds more often, and paying for the super swipe 1000, whatever it is. It's not... People forget that you only need to find one person. It looks like a lot of people, but you only need to find one of them. Yep. Maybe that sounds more intimidating.
It creates a worse world for people because they never just accept that that this is what it's going to be for them. Like they're going to keep looking, and that's not a way to happiness.
No.
Like, it's not.
So here in this open letter, he said many of these companies have correctly identified social problems, but they're reaching for technology as a way of solving them rather than trying to do things that de-escalate competitiveness, like making it more easy for people to be vulnerable, more easy for people to be imperfect, more accepting of each other as ordinary people that aren't all over 6 foot tall with a fantastic, interesting career, a well-written bio, and constant sense of witty banter. That's another thing. The AI robot is writing your lines for you.
And
most of us just aren't like that all the time.
And here's the thing, like, even without the AI bot writing for you, most people write differently than they talk in real life.
Yeah.
I am far more eloquent written than I am in the real world. So if you introduce yourself to someone online and you're well spoken and eloquent and you've got great thoughts, well, you had time to curate those thoughts. And it's like when we were talking about telephobia. And you got to say exactly what you meant because you got to sit there and chew on the idea and say the perfect thing back. That's not how it's going to work in the real world. You should actually learn to love someone through the imperfections of what they're like in person. Like, a person's lack of perfection in the real world is oddly enough more endearing than having the right answer all the time. The person who has the right answer and says the right thing all the time is annoying. Mm-hmm. Like, everybody's got that friend, and they're annoying. You love them, but they're annoying.
Yeah, I agree that people would be better off just surrendering themselves to being human.
It's like when they say, like, whenever Gen Z and millennials argue about cringe, it's like you must first accept that you yourself are also cringe to be free of cringe.
Yeah.
Just accept that you're not going to be as cool as you make yourself out to be online.
Yeah.
You know? You'll be better off.
Yeah, and I don't think it's...
That goes doubly for guys who are like my height, and then you have to go through that whole can of worms.
Everything falls apart once you can't back up this energy in real life. I would say it falls apart before that even, because who is to say that these AI features even do anything to help you? Really?
They don't.
Nothing. I mean, it's a marketing ploy. Tinder also promises AI-driven features that enhance post-match guidance. So this is after you've gotten someone to match with you on the app. They're going to tell you everything to say, including conversation starters with contextual elements that highlight compatibility. Oh, I've noticed we both have a dog on our profiles.
What is that? Like,
What is your dog?
There might be an argument.
Just
for
have
like,
a thinking brain.
Yeah.
You don't need a robot to do that for you.
Like,
does anyone have any faith in themselves anymore?
I don't think people have faith in themselves anymore. Well, I'm saying the thing is,
you
like,
get nudges when a match has gone unattended.
When you become too reliant on technology.
This
right?
will suggest shared interest-based date ideas when a conversation is ready to move from in-app to in real life. That is contrary to the business model of Tinder. They want all of your conversations to remain in-app. The opposite of what they want is you meeting up with someone from the app in real life and having it actually work out.
Yeah.
That is contra, like, everything that they need from you. They need you to be alone and miserable and reliant as well on a robot to make some semblance of a personality for yourself. And that's just... like, beyond dystopian.
Mm-hmm.
It's like people have just resigned themselves to this. And again, I'm going to repeat myself. I am glad we're getting to a point with AI encroaching on our lives that it's fast and it's dramatic and people are taking more and more notice of it. Mm-hmm. Instead of it just being a slow crawl where you barely notice it happening. I think that means people have more freedom to choose how they want to live.
Yeah.
And if you are forced to choose between actual, like, human living, like being in the flesh and being a person, mm-hmm. and being some sort of humanoid robot, then good. I think that enhances our freedom, at least, if you are forced to choose between reality and the digital space.
Well, I saw you. Okay, so let me ask you a question then. I saw your tweet the other day about if you ask for her Snapchat rather than her phone number, your bloodline stops here.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is a good way? I don't know if you can relate this to, like, personal experience because you're a girl, but like I don't, like, for you specifically, but, like, what would be a way that you can see in the real world now where men approach women and it's a situation? Because, you know, the commentary now is like, if a guy does it in public now, it's considered creepy, and then the counter argument is like, it's only creepy if he's super handsome. How do you,
if he's not,
if he's, like, it's only creepy if he's not super handsome. How do they break that barrier?
You're asking me how I would suggest they go about this?
I mean, with your perspective as a woman, like, how do guys go about trying to do that?
I was asked a similar question recently. Yeah. Actually, no, I should pull this up. I'm not going to say who asked me because that would just be crazy. But Someone I know sent me a text message asking, this is a married person asking me, like, how do I give advice to single people? I don't know what to say. So he said, it was something about how do Zoomers meet?
Okay.
Serious question, how the hell do Zoomers meet? Like young adults, how are they going to meet other like single young adults? But the first question was more just like, how do we even encourage men, like young men, to talk to women? So that seems more apropos to what you just said. I said, you have to do the frightening thing of talking to the chick, whoever she is, making the ask for either a number or date or whatever. And if she says no, you kind of need to just, like, if you can't handle that, like, literally walk away. I've seen this guy on Instagram Reels, actually. He's, like, making a trend of it where he'll, like, go up to women and start a conversation. And if she's not interested, he literally, like, no further, like, no goodbye, nothing. He just walks away.
He does the Irish goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like everyone is at peace because of this. You don't need to cushion the blow. Just walk away from the conversation. It's not that serious. And then I said I also need to tell other women the approach I generally have to these interactions, because the women aren't doing themselves any favors by trying to handhold men all the time.
There's a 20 here from Moonlight says, I want to see a mock date. Show us how it's done.
Right now, right here, right now. I don't know if Olivia would be cool with that.
I'd like I said, send her Stalin memes.
But
guys.
I said,
send her Stalin memes.
A lot of women getting approached get really nervous about how to help the guy save face, or they want to handhold him through the entire thing. They're anticipating what the guy is going to say before he even gets the chance to say it. The women seem focused on trying to govern the whole scenario to make a guy feel better, instead of stepping back and letting the guy take the lead, which is what women want anyway. And I just thought, conclusion is, everyone is going to need to be uncomfortable. You are not going to find a solution that makes you comfortable. Never.
Take the risk.
That's it. It's just, there's no solution where you're going to feel comfortable doing this.
It's why the men who...
Either getting approached or doing the approaching, you're not going to feel comfortable.
The men who are the most confident have the most luck and success because they're willing to put themselves out there like that, because they can't imagine a world where that's not the truth.
I think it's not that they even are like bereft of feeling uncomfortable. It's that those guys just, for whatever reason, make the value judgment that they're willing to be uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah. All right.
I don't know what else to say, really. It's just, you're going to have to be uncomfortable and you're going to have to suffer to get something. Like, don't they say anything worth
anything worth doing
is difficult to do? Yeah, like, that's the case in point.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.